miss me?
I don't believe this. I don't fucking believe this!
And it has minimal side effects. Only nausea, impotence, and anal leakage.
While contemplating the subject of my next video, some friends had some questions for me. Since this is a movie and TV review site, shouldn't you, I don't know, do an actual review?
No shit, Sherlock!
But first, much love to my very first subscribers, by the way. Seriously, I'm just impressed you guys actually found the fucking channel. But since my local theaters are still closed, and my current streaming service
Fucking sucks!
I decided to turn to the internet for intellectual guidance and assistance.
There are a lot of long words in there, but naught but humble pirates. What is it that you want? I couldn't resist, mate.
And you're not the boss of me, so.
Get on with it!
Get on with it! Yes, get on with it!
So butter up, Buttercup, and grab yourself some extra napkins, because this one's gonna get messy. Gentlemen, ladies, and all the undetermined, 2021's Suicide Squad.
Mister. What is
2021's The Suicide Squad. Directed by James Gunn, this movie provides a surprisingly solid entry into the DC movie universe. Taking unapologetic advantage of its R rating, this movie is packed with gratuitous boobs, blood, guts, gore, and more bad language than a Gordon Ramsay Christmas special.
I'm fucking around. Shit. You're full of fucking shit. Because every time you got fucking something wrong, you give a bullshit fucking excuse. Fuck off!
Viola Davis returns as Amanda Waller to once again assemble a ragtag team of misfits to complete an impossible task. This time their mission is to destroy the former Nazi laboratory called Yoden that holds a secret experiment known as Project Starfish. It's a loaded ensemble of low-tier DC characters including Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Harley Quinn, King Shark, Polka Dot Man, and Ratcatcher 2. While the movie doesn't include much backstory on the other characters, such as Javelin, Captain Boomerang, Weasel, Blackguard, TDK, Mongol, and Savant, accompanied by Colonel Flag and Harley Quinn, it's mostly irrelevant to the plot, mainly because they get waxed in the first few minutes of the movie.
Wax on.
I'm the one who called you!
Wax off.
This allows the second team, led by Bloodsport, to land undetected. The team later finds Colonel Flag alive at a rebel encampment, and after accidentally wiping half of them out, somehow manage to convince the rebel leader to assist them. Harley Quinn also survives, but is captured by government forces, enters into a love interest, and basically does fuck all for almost 2/3 of the film. Simply summarized, girl meets boy, girl shoots boy, and girl farts flowers while going full-blown Deadpool.
Just call me Anus of the morning, Anus. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, Anus.
Meanwhile, the second team manages to infiltrate the Capitol and captures Doctor Who. The Thinker, the scientist in charge of Project Starfish. After some pretty labored jokes,
here's the deal. We fail the mission, you die.
Shut up.
Find out any information you give us is false, you die.
Just shut up, shut up.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
Shut up, shut it up.
the team uses the Thinker to break into the underground laboratory. While the rest rig explosives, the Thinker reveals that Project Starfish is actually Starro the Conqueror, an alien starfish brought to Earth by the United States government that releases smaller starfish from its armpits that take control of people's bodies. And seriously, who wouldn't be terrified of that?
What the shit?
An enraged Colonel Flag decides to leak this information via computer drive, but is killed by Peacemaker to cover up U.S. involvement for Agent Waller. With everything crashing down around them, Peacemaker tries to kill Ratcatcher 2 for knowing the truth, but Bloodsport shoots him and takes the drive. Meanwhile, Starro escapes the crumbling laboratory, kills Doctor Who, and begins taking control of the island's population. But despite being told their mission is complete, the remaining squad engages for the final battle against Starro, and in the end, Bloodsport manages to blackmail Agent Waller with the contents of the drive, releasing them from their imprisonment, and the remaining squad is airlifted to safety. Now admittedly, if you prefer Steve Rogers to Wade Wilson,
Dad?
or Chris Hemsworth to Rocket Raccoon,
Oh, yeah.
odds are this may not be your kind of movie. And to be honest, my expectations of this movie were actually pretty low, given the flaming porta-crapper crashing into school bus traffic that the DC universe has become. But for once, I was actually glad my expectations were subverted. Idris Elba delivers an outstanding performance as the reluctant leader Bloodsport. Starting out for his own selfish but understandable ends, he emerges as a compassionate and skillful leader willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, and even when their mission is complete, he defiantly leads the squad in a final battle against Starro to save the island inhabitants. John Cena gives a surprising performance as Peacemaker, showing a talent for deadpan comedy, and works well off Idris Elba as they constantly try to one-up each other, often with hilarious results. If anything else, it's better than the last thing I saw him in.
速度与激情就我做很多采访，很多，所以在一个采访我有一个错误。
The actors portraying Ratcatcher 2 and Polka Dot Man also give a solid performance, and by the end, I found their characters endearing and quite relatable. Let's face it, a guy who has to take care of his body parts bulging at least twice a day, I feel your pain, brother. Even the mandatory CGI character of King Shark, voiced by Sylvester Stallone, actually made me feel for his character.
Dun 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 dun.
Despite his constantly trying to eat his own teammates. But then again, that's probably why.
Don't judge me!
Never go full retard.
And while most reviews refer to the visual effects as a way to avoid the question of if the movie sucks or not,
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
in this case, the visual effects are quite impressive, and the over-the-top set pieces prove that James Gunn was definitely up to the task. Now, admittedly, there are a few problems with this movie to be sure. For one thing, it's a bit long. And while there's significant character development and backstory, the movie almost stops in the middle in order to achieve it. And as Guardians of the Galaxy demonstrated, you can still make your characters relatable while still maintaining a more constant pace.
Could you please step on the same foot at the same time? My tits are falling off!
And while Margot Robbie delivers what I believe is the best version of Harley Quinn to date, if they would have just picked her up in the village along with Colonel Flagg, it may have been a much shorter and a tighter production. Now, I didn't go to any fancy film school majoring in dead languages and underwater basket weaving. And like Guardians of the Galaxy, I had almost no clue in relation to the origins of the characters going in. So how do I determine if a movie is a big pile of... One metric is what I call the P to pause ratio.
Oui? Yes, a lot of it.
Simply put, if I don't pause the movie to pee, it isn't holding my attention.
Pardon. Yes? You are pissing on my shoe.
This movie had a more positive P to P ratio, and that's with an extra large pizza and a six-pack.
You happy? Fatty make a funny?
But my final measure of a good movie is how spent I feel after the movie, not how I feel on what I spent. Quite simply, if a movie leaves you feeling emotionally and physically exhausted, then it was a movie worth watching. And while this movie wasn't exhausting as, say, 2.5 hours at your favorite strip club, it is a solid, simplistic, straight-up lose-yourself-for-a-time story that is certainly worthy of attention. Tune in next time when we discuss interspecies relationships, the influence of Gilligan's Island on spaghetti westerns, and as always remember, when they decide to clutch their pearls, we'll provide the necklace.
It's like angels are smooching all over us.
Right here on Salty Buttered Bags.